What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 185. And we start today's episode off with some player training and a brief look at the league table to remind you guys after what happened in the last episode. Our big thumping 4-0 victory against Borussia Dortmund put us top of the Bundesliga with just 4 games to go. So as we know, win our remaining 4 and we will be crowned champions. However, it's going to be easier said than done, as we know. What you'll find today is the 3 of the final 4 Bundesliga opponents, all games coming today. I should say the 3 of the 4 final Bundesliga games are all coming today. 2 of the 3 teams are down the bottom of the table and scrambling for points to stay in the Bundesliga. And as we've seen in FIFA Career Mode over the, past season, say the very least, we know that the smaller teams can at times be harder to beat than bigger teams. I talked about it earlier this season when we thrashed Bayern Munich by 5-0 but got knocked out in the DFB Pokal by Freiburg. Sometimes it's the smaller teams, and in fact in many cases it's the smaller teams that prove to be the hardest teams to beat. So we've got Augsburg, Union Berlin and Hertha Berlin away, wrapping up our 3 of 4 final games in the Bundesliga. Could have explained that better now. But still, yeah, first game is against Augsburg, and they, like Union Berlin, scrapping for points down the bottom of the table right now, and desperate to stay in the Bundesliga, taking them on away from home. I love the camera angle it presented with me at this stadium here. All my camera settings are default for those that ask, but I love the camera angle that was set up for this one here at Augsburg away. And heading into the game, Barry Walsh, who bagged a brace in the 4-0 victory against Borussia Dortmund, takes no time whatsoever to get his third goal in 2 games and open the scoring to Leverkusen, settle the nerves, and in the 17th minute, oh, this was a joy to see. It's so nice when 2 of these 3 boys link up for a goal. It's even nicer when all 3 link up for the goal. Ollie with the hockey assist. He's going for the assist title this season. You would have seen at the start of the episode, he's leading the way with 12 right now. Rolls it into Barry, who was hobbling a little bit, and after scoring his first, he then turns provider for our second, rolls it through, and Ivan Toney on course for yet another golden boot, makes it 2-0 to Leverkusen. So I was fearing, coming into this game a little bit nervous, but really in the first half we were just absolutely on fire, creating chance after chance after chance. Should have had another goal there. Welsh for a lovely little flick. He was orchestrating everything in this game, but Tony's shot was well saved with the goalkeeper, as it was still 2-0. But in the second half, Augsburg, who were playing for their Bundesliga lives, looked like it to begin the second half off with. They had their first chance 9 minutes in, and what an extraordinary goal this was by the AI. Across the middle, it loops over 3 red shirts and in front of Sarr at the back stick, and then the 1 white shirt on the penalty spot that goes towards the ball managed to squeeze himself in behind Sarr, Maya and also Leandro, and a diving header out of the reach of Luna. There are just some goals you can't really defend against the AI and Ultimate. That one's definitely in that category. What a goal there, what a diving header. And Augsburg are back in the game, so half deficit, make it 2-1. We were looking for that 3rd goal and restoring our 2-goal cushion. We were creating loads of chances as well. Barry and Ivan in particular in the second half were linking up really, really nicely on several occasions, but my finishing touch just wasn't there in the second 45 minutes. But in the end, it did not matter. We cling on for the 3 points. It's not quite as convincing as a win as our 4-0 victory against Borussia Dortmund. But as we know now, despite how tight it is at the top of the table, if we do win our remaining 4 games and now win our remaining 3 games, we'll still be crowned champions. Because whilst RB Leipzig beat Hoffenheim to keep themselves in the title race, you can see here Welsh's injury was just a bruised shoulder and a little knock. Whilst RB Leipzig do win to keep themselves in the title race, whilst Borussia Dortmund are right behind as well, we have a point advantage on both of those 2 teams, and that means that if we beat Union Berlin, we beat Hertha Berlin at the Olympiastadion, and we win on the final game of the season home to Frankfurt, we'll be crowned champions no matter what. We're 1 point clear of both RB Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund, and they both face each other. As you can see there in the top right, looking at the league table right now, they both face each other in the first game of May as well. So that means one of those teams is probably going to be out of the title race come the end of 90 minutes there, and if that game ends as a draw and we win, we'll go 3 points clear with 2 games to go. So destiny is firmly in our own hands right now. All we've got to do is hold our nerve, keep our cool, and we will be crowned champions. Easier said than done though in this year's FIFA. But still, for the second game of 3 in today's episode, it was our penultimate home game of the Bundesliga season, as we will take on Union Berlin, who right now looks certain to get relegated, but mathematically could still keep themselves up via a playoff game but they need to win really their final 2 matches. Taking them on here at the Bay Arena, feeling very confident after back-to-back wins against Augsburg and Borussia Dortmund as well. And the first chance fell to us 21 minutes in, and the first goal would fall to us 21 minutes in. And like I mentioned in the first game of today's episode, when these boys link up, it's just so nice. I just love it so much. Ollie Shaw going for the assist title. What a season he's having this year playing left midfield for us. Rolls it through to Ivan Toney, and the shocker. I don't care how old he is, he'll always get you a goal. 25 goals in the Bundesliga, and that golden boot is surely going to be his as we come towards the end of the season. Couple more, and it's surely guaranteed. And right before the break, still leading by 1. Weren't really that many chances in the first half, so I was glad we took the only one we had, really. Ivan Toney goes down the right-hand side, puts his man on the floor, then the ball rolled into Rodrigo, and the Brazilian of late has really stepped his form up as well. That's goal number 4 in the Bundesliga for our number 9, who we signed from Real Madrid in the January transfer window, as he does the Gareth Bale heart celebration. Maybe you learnt that from him at the Bernabeu. And Leverkusen go 2-0 up. So Toney might be going for the golden boot, but he's still a team player. Gets the assist there and doubles our lead right before the break does Rodrigo. So leading by 2, and you saw the stats at half time as well. Really in the first half, it was all about possession over that many chances. I just wanted the ball. If we had the ball, our opponents couldn't hurt us and score a goal. That was my strategy anyway. A bit of Louis van Gaal strategy there. But still, we were leading by 2. I was feeling very confident. Union Berlin didn't really get a sniff in the game at all. And in the second half, 15 minutes after the restart, this was a really welcome sight to see. I mean, about bloody time, but still. Arp runs to the cameraman to celebrate his first goal in a Bayer Leverkusen shirt. Brought him on at half time, and he makes it 3-0 after he was chipped through, and he gets his first goal in Leverkusen colours. And as we were approaching the final seconds of the game, 3-0 would become 4-0. Ollie Shaw bags his second assist of the match. He rolls it through to Diego, who also came off the bench to score in the second half. And Diego this season has been a really unsung hero as part of our team. He's had many goal contributions, and a lot of his games have been coming from the bench as well. So Diego gets his goal number 5, I think, in the Bundesliga there. Yet another assist for Ollie Shaw as well, as he's well on his way to the assist title. And funny enough, after Toney notched up a couple of assists in this game as well, Ivan Toney is actually second in the assist chart behind Ollie Shaw. How crazy is that? Shaw's leading the way, but Toney is right behind him, as they both got a couple of assists each in this game, and the Blades boys were just on fire, as they have been throughout the course of the entire season. But following that, as you could see, RB Leipzig did beat Borussia Dortmund in that massive second versus third clash to surely knock Borussia Dortmund out of the title race. And after RB Leipzig won, cut the gap on us to just a 1 point, or I should say kept the gap on us at just 1 point, they also won a game prior to our one against Hertha Berlin. Their fixture came before our game, and as you can see, they won that as well, which meant for them, with 1 game to go, they were top of the table. They went to Werder Bremen and they beat them by 3-1. And as you could see, heading into the match against Hertha Berlin here, the penultimate game of the season, pressure on Bayer Leverkusen. We've been knocked off top spot, 2 points behind RB Leipzig, and therefore, in order to go top of the tree before match day 34 and the final game of the Bundesliga season, we would have to win at the Olympiastadion. Otherwise, RB Leipzig would have destiny in their own hands going in to the final day. And of course, Hertha Berlin, a former career mode side of mine. I always recommend Hertha Berlin for a career mode team in Germany because they've got such an amazing real stadium in the Olympiastadion, and a couple of really strong rivalries as well. Taking them on here away from home. Feeling very confident though, despite 3 wins from 3, we wouldn't slip up here and we would restore our lead at the top of the table. And if we were going to do it, I just knew one man was going to make all the difference. Ivan Toney, 27 minutes in. Just wind him up. That's what he's saying in the celebration. Stick me out there and I'll get you a goal, Gaffer. Absolutely fantastic season once again for Ivan Toney. 26 goals in the Bundesliga, and the nerves settled very early on as he opens the scoring. 1-0 to Bayer Leverkusen, and it should have been 2-0 with 7 minutes to go in the first half. However, the linesman did disallow it for offside. Correct decision though, no doubt about it. No controversial offside decision like you saw in the last episode. episode against Atletico Madrid. This one was clear offside. We had two players offside here, Rodrigo and Tony. Lovely little flick by Jonathan David, wasn't it, into Ivan, but he was definitely offside, no doubt about it. Didn't really need the replay, to be honest, and the goal correctly chalked off for offside. So still leading by a goal to nil, but looking the stronger team in the first half, if not getting that many chances, looking clinical when going forward. And in the second half here, 48 minutes in, he does it once again. Tony gets his second of the game, 27th in the Bundesliga, and that assist from Barry Walsh. How nice was that? McGeady spin into the through ball, perfectly weighted. Tony stops on the dime, turns to covering defender and finesses it home. And the travelling fans know we are surely on our way to the victory here at the Olympia Stadion. And I love the celebration as well. It's the first time I've done the Gomi celebration. I'm not even sure how I did it, but it looked really, really cool. I love that celebration as he makes it 2-0. And he almost had his hat-trick towards the end of the game as well. Great save with the goalkeeper, preventing just his second match ball since joining Bayer Leverkusen. Whilst he doesn't get the match ball, he does drink the champagne, and the Bayer Leverkusen fans can celebrate on their way back home. A 2-0 victory away at the Olympia Stadion, which means going into the final day of the Bundesliga season after a dominant performance here on the road in our final away game. One win on the final game home to Frankfurt, and we will be crowned champions of the Bundesliga. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the season finale, the Bundesliga final day at home to Frankfurt, where we'll be crowned champions with a win very soon.